To my black people from all over the world, once again, welcome to Africa Renaissance Show. And my people, the events this week between Mali and France have been quite interesting. So earlier in the week, France issued a statement to the effect that they had banned the visa application process for Malians who wanted to travel and immigrate, to France. And almost immediately, Mali also issued a statement to the effect that they had also suspended the process of issuance of visas to French to the country. And I think for the first time, I'm very happy because of the manner in which Mali reacted. Because in the past, what we used to do is that when a Western country bans, or stops the issuance of visas to African countries, we started pleading with them, We had this perception that, the Western countries had a lot to offer us and that we had nothing to offer to them. And one thing that impresses me about the new generation of African leaders who are taking over in various African countries is that they understand the manipulative tactics that the West has been using on Africa for quite a long period of time. Because this is one of the tactics that the West, has been using against Africa. As an African, if you want to immigrate to the West or to immigrate to Europe, there are various stumbling blocks which are placed on your way, as you apply for a visa into those countries. And if I may give an example with the American embassy in most African countries, you are forced to pay an amount of approximately $200 for the visa that you are applying for. I mean for the application process. And mind you are not guaranteed of the visa itself. So you find a situation where one person has applied for the visa for more or less like 10 times without any success, and the money is not refunded. But now for the first time, we realize that we also has value. We also offer value to European countries, and this is why I'm very impressed with the concept of reciprocity. And what essentially the concept of reciprocity means is that if you do something bad to me, I'll do the same to you. And the question that we should ask ourselves, now that Mali has suspended the process of issuance of visas to France, who is going to lose in the whole of this process? And what I can say is that I think the French are going to lose more, because what you have to realize is that when a French person comes to the African continent, what are they coming to do? Of course, they come to the African continent to exploit our resources and minerals. Mali is one of the countries that is endowed with a lot of mineral resources. So when a white man comes to the African continent, he's coming to exploit our resources, and he lives in one of the best estates in African countries, because if they're exploiting resources, of course they have the money, so they live one of the best tribes in the African continent, and they also benefit from African hospitality. You always know about African hospitality, and when a white person comes to Africa and you go to a hotel, most of the times they're served first before a black African man. And this is one of the aspects about our behaviors that I would like us to change. Compare that to the treatment that is usually given to an African who travels to France. And first and foremost, there is a lot of structural racism in Europe against people of African descent. A lot of times you'll be called a nigger, a monkey, and so many other derogatory terms. Moreover, the structural racism in those countries also means that you cannot, rise across the ranks insofar as career white-collar jobs are concerned in those countries. So, for instance, in France, the best that a black person can do is to rise across the ranks in sports. But when it comes to white-collar jobs, yeah, it's very hard for a black man to be promoted in comparison to their white, colleagues. My final message to European politicians is that this is not business as usual. You are dealing with a new generation of African politicians, and that there will be repercussions for your actions, unlike what used to happen in the past. Well, that's all for today. And if you want to watch more of this content, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Goodbye.